Hi, my name is Ismail. I'm a biochemistry major, and this summer I'm looking at signaling pathways in breast cancer. The protein that we're focusing on the pathway is called MIMO-1. It's known as like a Swiss Army knife protein, so it's implicated in a bunch of different pathways. The overall goal for the research is gaining a better understanding again of the role MIMO plays, see how to target MIMO, different therapeutics that can be made down the line in pharmaceuticals. So that's really why it's important. So this is just a quick walkthrough of what the workflow sort of looks like. So first, we used a website called Phosphocyte Plus. So this website shows us sites of phosphorylation for these different proteins. So after we isolate these peptides, we kind of move to synthesizing them. Just gotta put the gloves on to be safe. These different test tubes have our amino acids, and we go through and build the peptide up from the membrane. So that all happens on this cellulose membrane. After we're done synthesizing, we run a Western blot. We then take an image. The darker spots show a higher concentration of MIMO, so MIMO is really heavily binding and interacting with that peptide, whereas the lighter spots show less interaction. So the culture here is all about giving responsibility to undergrad students, making sure they're at least educated in what research has to offer for them. So I emailed Dr. Pollock, and then I was able to join the lab pretty quickly, I'd say, after I started school. And it was a very kind of smooth and easy process, I think, to join a lab.
If you're interested in doing research, just get your name out there and tell people that you're interested in it. I think I've already had a couple of emails from prospective students who are going to be starting this year, and I always have first years that start with me, as well as sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
So an exciting kind of development my research experience has been applying for and writing a grant for the ASBMB undergraduate student grant.
He wanted to have the opportunity to write a grant because he's been in the lab for over a year. And then of course he was awarded the grant, so we had extra money to be able to buy additional supplies. The students that I've had become a bit of a family every summer in particular.
Especially this summer, we've been trying to plan more trips over the weekend, so we're going to Busch Gardens this weekend. That sort of team building stuff has been easy with cool people.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Aberly. I'm a music and psychology major at the University of Richmond, and this summer I'm studying musical genre hybridity.
We are testing a framework that I developed in 2016-17, so almost 10 years, and it's a framework on musical hybridity, of how people combine genres. Studying hybridity in general is very important because it stands against the idea that we have a unique identity. There's rigid categories of identities. So we actually move the focus from studying the category to how the categories interact with each other. So for the actual experiment, we have participants go through a batch of 25 examples, 30 to 40 seconds, and then we get them to rate specific dimensions that would gear them towards one type of strategy versus another.
Part of our study is to find non-hybrid music, and I honestly found that was one of the more challenging parts because, so many cultures are shown in popular music today. So I actually found out about this research project through a friend, and she was like, this sounds like it's perfect mix of your interests, which I think it really is.
Participating directly in research is very easy. There's a lot of opportunities. It's a matter of finding something that you were curious about.
We're going to be presenting this at the ANS symposium next spring. Right. You were also talking about potentially, if we turn this into a paper, presenting it at different conferences.
Yeah, we are aiming at a presentation at the International Association of Music Perception and Cognition.
Yeah, so this whole thing has been very hands-on. I mean, we have had a lot of brainstorming sessions. We're in there, we're building the Qualtrics survey ourselves. We're coming up with the songs and examples that we'll be using. And it's a team effort, it's not just Dr. Alcalde telling us what to do. It's honestly really fun for me because, we've been working for 6 weeks, and I feel like next week we're really gonna get to see our project come to life. It doesn't really feel like work to me. I come in and I get to be a nerd and talk about all these things that are things that I'm really interested in. So yeah, it's awesome.
My name is Andy Quach. I am a computer science major, and I am researching VR locomotion methods. A lot of the common ones involve either teleporting or just using the joystick to move around. Because it's not similar to what we're used to doing, just walking, it causes a lot of motion sickness. So we're trying out this different method, something similar to skating, and seeing if that is any better for your motion sickness. Basically, we're finding the best way to move in VR, preferably without throwing up.
I study games and I study AI. So when a student comes up to me like Andy, he's like, I want to do virtual reality research. I'm like, let's do it. Let's go all in. My goal is to get Andy at a conference just to kind of see the academic world and how it works, and then go through that whole process. And hopefully he gets addicted to it and wants to do more of it.
So joystick is like classic video game controls. Like you have the joysticks in front of you like this and you can just move around. So this one is very motion sickness inducing because you're not physically moving, but you are in VR. But what we came up with is the skateboard method. That uses your physical motion. So when you start skating, you gotta move forward a little bit or you step onto the skateboard. So the idea in VR is to kind of mimic that movement. So like you lean back, step forward, and then you're on a skateboard skating. You can also crouch and you'll go a little bit faster, like kind of like this, and then twist it a little bit and you'll turn and carve. So this one's more fun in my opinion.
This research is really important just because VR is growing exponentially. It has been growing steadily in the last few decades. It's becoming a lot more important and they're putting a lot more money into it. So I think the general public is going to see it a lot more in the future. This is my second time kind of doing paid research, which is really fortunate and really cool.
I want to get students as excited about research as I was when I was an undergraduate, so that maybe Andy will probably end up being like a super famous game developer or making the next best VR headset. But yeah, regardless, we built something cool out of this. So Andy is definitely coming away with a nice, very fun project that he can put on his resume, put on his portfolio, and then industry people or academics will look at it and see, oh, it's really cool. Yeah, you should come work with us and do research or work on this project with us.
Doing research at University of Richmond is so great because you really get hands-on experience. You get to work with your faculty members. You get to drive the projects and present your work both on campus and potentially off campus if that's something that you're interested in. So there's a lot of opportunities here to become involved with research in whatever field that you're interested in.
It's a hands-on experience where they get to face the challenges, the complexity of designing an experiment and thinking about culture and science together. That's the only way to learn, really, is by doing. Research is way larger than the question at hand. It helps us reflect about other things. Being at ease with one's lack of understanding of things is really important.
What students will be surprised about when they do research here at U of R is they don't need to know everything about what it means to be a researcher or a scientist. They don't need to have a research plan even. They don't need to know how to organize data or come up with a really big research project or know how to do user studies or know how to write papers even. Really, if a student is interested in doing research at U of R, just having an interest and wanting to work with a professor on whatever project they're looking at, that's more than enough.
I've been really into UK Garage recently, I'm not gonna lie. Just an example.
That's cool. I want to show you. Here's the album that I'm listening to. And it's just so good. It's good stuff.